Hold up. I don't like the way that house came out. Let's fix that before we start. That's much better. Okay, on to the episode. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Bronze Age Minecraft, a series where we set out to recreate the Bronze Age settlements of ancient Greece. My name is Archaeologist, and I'm a professional archaeologist and certified interpretive guide, and today we're going to get started on what you see behind me. That's right, it is time to get the House of Tiles ready to go. Also, I kind of changed this house up a little bit because it was a little too big from when I made it. This is actually a fairly large house even by early Helladic 2 standards. So yeah, it just had way too big of a I don't want to say footprint, because the footprint is okay, but above it looked huge, and so I kind of toned it down just a little bit. I also put up some barriers so that the villagers would quit wandering around outside of the settlement. Anyways, here is all the stuff we're going to use, but we are missing one thing. So you'll notice I've got these oak slabs, and I was originally going to use the oak slabs on this guy here as the floor. But the issue, of course, is that it didn't have a wooden floor. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, you know, I really should do it just the right way. So the thing about the House of Tiles is that the floor was actually like a clay floor, and it wasn't this color, but it was definitely a yellowish color. So I could always use like bamboo, because bamboo's got that yellow color, but it looks kind of like garbage, right? Right. Yeah. He agrees. So what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to do terracotta. But in order to do terracotta, I got to get more clay. And to get more clay, I need to do more, I need to get mud, basically. And to get mud, I need to get water bottles and dirt and all that stuff. So let's go ahead and take care of that first, because I want this to be a little more accurate than what I was originally going to do. Because apparently I like torturing myself. You know, I could always do sandstone. Nope, that's not yellow enough. I know better.
A few minutes later.
Okay, so that was dumb. I thought I could get clay from mud, which you can, but you need dripstone to do that. I don't have any dripstone. There are some caves back there that I might go explore to get some, but I was also able to find some clay too, and there's probably some clay well, probably down that way as well. So let's see how much I get from this, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I got a little over a stack and a half. That should be enough to cover up the floor with some pretty close, I don't know. I think it should work. Worst case scenario, I can always use some yellow wool or some of that yellow concrete powder to be sort of like, just textured areas. So let's go ahead and do the floor. Okay, so yeah, my math was way off and I needed to go get more clay. So you might have noticed there was a cut in that time lapse there, and that was me stopping what I was doing to go get more clay, then smelt it up into terracotta, and then get more flowers and dye them, and I barely eked in with one yellow terracotta left. Yeah, so anyways, oh hey, why are you guys bullying me? All right, let's get these walls up, at least the first level, and talk a little bit more about the House of Tiles. So you're probably wondering what makes the House of Tiles so important, and that's really a two-part answer. The corridor house phenomenon, which the House of Tiles is part of, is what is truly the thing of importance. The House of Tiles is just an exceptional example, and one that has told us a lot of things. You see, the House of Tiles isn't the only corridor house to appear in the early Helladic II Greek mainland. Several of these corridor houses appeared generally all around the same time. We see these corridor houses popping up at places like Messenia, the island of Aegina, Thebes, and many others that are possible corridor houses. So, why is this so important? These corridor houses are large public buildings that not only are completely different than residential buildings, but even the things found within are different. And in archaeology, if you have two structures but they are both completely different in size, shape, and their contents, it can be assumed to a high degree of accuracy that their functions would be different as well. To add to that importance, these corridor houses are significantly larger and more well built that they had to take a lot of labor to build. And if you have a large labor force, you not only need support to help that labor force, but you also need someone in charge to oversee and manage that labor force. These corridor houses are more than just big buildings. They're the evidence of some sort of hierarchy or small-scale government. Further strengthening the argument of a government is the evidence of taxation found in the sealing impressions. That's sealing with an S, not a C. Sealing impressions are stamped designs pressed into clay seals by using seal stones, and the House of Tiles had plenty of them. These sealings were usually meant to seal containers, which means that the House of Tiles had tons of containers, and with no seal stones found within, that means the House of Tiles was the end of the line for those goods. But it's more than just containers you can seal. Doorways are often sealed using the seal stone and clay technique. This points to the idea of restricting access to certain rooms to those not allowed, further strengthening the idea of a hierarchy. So whether the ceilings were used for containers, meaning taxation, or doorways, meaning stratification, they are a unique byproduct that shows something important is taking place here. Okay, so there it is, the first level of the corridor house. You can already see how much bigger it is than your standard early Helladic 2 residence. It's pretty big. It's significantly larger than that and built completely differently. And so yeah, you can also see why they call it a corridor house, because of the corridors, right? So these, hold on, this side. And I might have talked about this during the time lapse, but yeah, so you got these long corridors that sort of run alongside the main. Well, this one has one sort of towards the back, but it's got this long corridor that runs the entire length. So yeah, there we go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover up this with some planks, and then we'll be good. Oh, gotta sleep. Anyways, I think that'll probably do it for this episode. I will... I'll see you next time.